Welcome back to the podcast. It is Inside the Huddle on Maple Grove Boys, getting a chance to chat all things Osseo boys hockey with head coach Kevin Willey. And here we are, beginning of January, calendar turns into 2018. And where is, from a state of the program perspective, big view, how's the season up to this point and where are we?
Well, man, I mean, we're just over halfway here. I mean, it's been, obviously we're striving to get some more W's in that win column, but it's, man, we're pretty fortunate. We have a great group of kids that are going out and battling every day, and we are getting better. We have hiccups along the way, but we are, we've been excited. I mean, this year is the biggest class that we've had come in for tryouts. I mean, we actually had to make 16 cuts at tryouts this year, which, are always tough. It's not a very fun part of your job, but we are excited that we have this influx of kids and a great younger group as well. I mean, and hopefully we instill in them that hey, just keep on working hard, work. And again, I like where we're going, and we still got a chance this year to put some more wins in the column.
I think from a competitive perspective, I've chatted with a couple of the kids, along the way here, and they talk about how you get to a point as a program where now you're playing games with one or two mistakes inside of that are we're making one or two little things. But it's the little things that add up through the course of the game. That all of a sudden now, when it's a 2-1 game, now all of a sudden you make a mistake. Now it's 3-1, and that becomes the difference. Do you kind of feel that too with the kids that you have this year? Like you're seeing it's from a competition and a competitive perspective that you're building on something pretty special.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, and the guys know it too. I mean, we're all. It hasn't been necessarily a lack of effort at all in these games that we're necessarily losing. It's just some of those little mental mistakes that we're making. Turning the puck over, or just not getting the puck out or deep on the blue line. It's just we're not built as a team to in a run and gun game. Right. I mean. In a 5-on-5 situation, man, our guys grind away and can protect that puck. But if we get in a special teams battle or anything like that with a team, it's going to be tough for us. We're not necessarily built for that. But if we can bury one early on a team and kind of hang off for a while, I think that's the way to go. But we're not. It's tougher to give up a lead right away and battle back.
I was going to kind of transition into my next question. A lot of the games we've had, we give up that first goal. Mm-hmm. And it's a mindset that, it'd be nice to kind of, I'm sure you've had this conversation with the guys in practice. Hey, you know what, we need to let's bury one early so we're playing from ahead as opposed to kind of chasing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we try all sorts of different things, and the boys are trying different things to, to get prepared before the games. I mean, we have a cell phone caddy in the back of our locker room. As soon as guys get to the hockey rink, it's put their cell phones away and, hey man, we're thinking about hockey here for the next hour before the game. Try sitting down on the bench. You try standing up on the bench. Just trying different things to really get engaged at the start of the game. I mean, for the most part, our first periods have been okay. I was actually just checking out some of our stats and goal differential between us and opponents the first period, it's pretty darn close, but as the game goes on, for whatever reason, we kind of give a few there as well. But we're a totally different team if we can get that goal early.
When you kind of have a chance now to step back, big picture, looking at where the program's at, you talked about this kind of young talent and you could kind of see it coming. Like last year, you kind of looked at those kids and they might have been a year or two away. Do you kind of look at it from the standpoint of we're going to be really, really good or really, really competitive, and you don't ever want to just throw away because you're building, right? It's like you're setting a base and then you're kind of going from there. But you can kind of, as a coach, feel that coming, can't you?
Yeah, for sure. And it's just a competitive thing. It's nice to have someone pushing you, and with these numbers and younger guys, like, hey, it's no longer just hey, if you can skate, you're on the team, man. Like you have to put in the work if you want to play high school hockey, and that's last year maybe we didn't have a ton of guys come out, so I mean maybe some of the guys felt that just, hey, I'm on the team and I don't necessarily have to work. But no, we get this influx of younger guys, and if the older guys want to play, hey, you better get in the weight room, you better shoot pucks, you better do those little things to make sure that you're on the ice getting some playing time.
Best part about what you get an opportunity to do every day with these kids is what?
yeah, it's just man, it's pretty cool that we can bring everyone together. You know, we have kids coming from Park Center. We got a kid from Maranatha, and you know, whatever. It's just it's Osseo hockey, man, and our whole program is you know, all the coaching staff is Osseo. I mean, our announcers are all Osseo grads. I mean, our goalie coach is a Park Center grad. Our Zamboni driver is an Osseo grad. So it's just a fun community to be in. And obviously, everyone who want to win more games, we want to get back to the state tournament. It's going to take some work, and it's going to take some bumps along the way. But I think we're all there for the right reasons.
When you look at the landscape of high school hockey and where things are at, and in the conference you play, you night in and night out, you're playing top 10 teams almost on a nightly basis. As you continue to develop, because as coaches, we're constantly looking to develop. Yeah, we want to win, but we're not going to sacrifice wins for developing someone. I mean, if the formula to win is to work and to believe in the process, and that's going to equate to victories on game day, that's the direction that you want to go. What types of things do you do as a coach during practice, whether it's from a mental perspective or from an on-ice perspective, to get these kids ready to go to battle top 10 teams every single night?
Mm-hmm. Well, it's just anything you do, you try to create some competition in practices. I mean, you know, it's amazing how much harder the kid will work if you put a killer on the line or something like that. Like, and we joke during games, like, man, sometimes you guys are working harder not to do that killer versus in the game. Hey, why not? I just watch you skate as, you know, flying down the ice. Let's try to translate that during a game, and that you know, this year more than in quite some recent history, I think the boys do see, hey, there's no reason that we can't maybe get through our section. I mean, there's a lot of parity this year. I mean, I think Centennial's a clear number one, but I mean, really, you know, 2 through 8, there's no reason that teams can't beat each other, and that's what we always stress. I mean, you just have to win 3 games at the end of the year. You know, all this stuff. Not say it doesn't. It definitely matters, especially for seeding and stuff come section time. But hey, we want to be peaking in February, and yeah, win 3 games. That's all it takes.
When you sit down at night and just kind of think about your love of the game, and obviously having played it, you know, you've seen both sides. You've been on both sides of that equation. What are your top 3 reasons you love to coach and you do what you do?
Oh man, it's you know, it's hard. It's hard because, I mean, coming from being a player and a coach, I mean, it's a heck of a lot easier being a player. I mean, it's tough. I mean, day in, day out. I mean, we're dealing with high school kids, and seeing when high school kids get it. I mean, that's one of the reasons. And patting guys on the back when guys do blue collar stuff, and I guess one of the is seeing the smile on kids' faces, how proud they feel. Again, it's not necessarily the kid that scores a ton of goals. It's a kid that's getting love for going down, and we had a kid block a shot with his head, went down and blocked a shot with his helmet. So just seeing that camaraderie amongst guys and building as a group would definitely be one of the reasons. Just seeing how your team evolves over the season, and you know, just the camaraderie piece with the coaches too is a lot of fun, and just the interaction with the community as well. It's again, this is our 10th year as co-head coach, Mark Fino and myself, and it's fun getting to see some of these little guys that we had, you know, skating out with our starting lineup 10 years ago are starting to come our way, and that's a great feeling.
Rewind the clock 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
What would you tell the 10 year ago you that you had no clue then, but you know now?
Oh man, that's a great question. I'd say having a 1 and 3 year old takes a lot of your time. I mean, that's definitely changed. I mean, my family, and you know, trying to create that balance as a coach is definitely has changed since I started out as a young. I think I was single at that point, but it definitely is a game changer. But it still, to win high school games, it still takes the same stuff. It takes hard work. It takes that you know, dedication, and you know, the game has changed over the 10 years. I mean, we used to be a really, really, really gritty team that you'd bang around all game and stuff like that. But obviously the game has evolved and you have to be more skilled. Otherwise, you'll be sitting in the penalty box all game. So that's definitely something that's changed, and trying to find that fine line between being physical and gritty, but not being in the box. That's something that's definitely has changed over those years.
I'm a basketball guy, but what I will admit is there's nothing like high school hockey in Minnesota. There's just not. It's a special thing. In my prior life, I spent enough time in rinks doing live streaming of games to know, and to have been around enough coaches and enough guys to know how special this sport is and what it means to Minnesota. When you think about high school hockey, and you can think back to your playing days and on game days and on bus rides and trips and that whole thing, the rinks that we have in this state are so much fun to go to. What in your eyes, as a coach now and a player then, makes it so special?
I mean, we got the ponds. We got, unfortunately, wish the weather would cooperate a little bit more of that outdoor ice, but it's just, it's cool. We can have a small town team make a run. The Rosos, we went up to World. It's our 21st year going up to World. There's just so much history throughout that. And legends are born at the state tournament. It's just what, just high school kid playing in front of 18,000 kids at the XL Energy Center. It's just, so much history with Minnesota hockey, and unfortunately, I never got to play in a state tournament at the high school level. But man, we had some great times at the State Fair Coliseum, and upsetting Elk River when they were #1 all year. It's just there's nothing like it. There's just something about the pond and getting out there and the cold, and love it.
You're ready to go right now?
Yes, yeah.
Last one for you. One word that would define your team right now.
It's got to be grit. It's got to be grit, and we got to get in those dirty spots. Yeah, we're not going to dangle everybody. Puck's got to get behind those D and just grind. Grit and grind. That's what we're all about. Grit and grind.
You're lunch pail gang, aren't you?
Blue collar, baby.
You're bringing the lunch pail to work every day, aren't you?
Blue collar.
That's what it's all about. Hey, thanks for the time. Appreciate you.
Thanks, Doug.
Absolutely. Hey, we're back inside the huddle next week right here on Maple Grove Voice.
It takes a lot to bring down a Minnesota Vikings player, but when an injury occurs, a Twin Cities orthopedics physician is on the field and ready to assess the situation. TCO is the official sports medicine provider of the Minnesota Vikings and proud to be a part of the new home of the Minnesota Vikings in Eagan. Best yet, the community can see the same great doctors at one of our 40 clinic locations across the metro. Visit TCOMN.com to learn more. TCOMN.com.